I spent a little over 9 years in the Navy as a reactor operator in nuclear submarines. It was a fascinating life. It could also be a monumental pain in the rear. We used amazing technology, we operated magnificent machinery, we traveled to the far side of the world underwater to perform missions of vital importance to the security of the United States. Those are the Navy's words. Fascinating as it could be, there is also a horrendous amount of stupidity that comes with any monstrous bureaucratic organization, and Uncle Sam's Canoe Club is definitely a large bureaucratic organization. An amazing amount of craziness and silliness happens when you put 125 men in a steel tube and lock the door for a couple of months. Practical jokes take on a life of their own. A fart could be immortal. At the same time, given the need, those same jokers are quite capable of selfless acts. Submariners are famous for making the right move at the right time and saving the day. Taking a submarine to sea and traveling around the world underwater is a hazardous enterprise. Dangerous situations happen all the time. Submariners are on their own. They simply have to deal with these situations with whatever they brought with them. Without their smarts, their training, including training of their judgment, and a bunch of spare parts, they may not come back. Never mind times of war with a dedicated enemy. When you're submerged in the ocean, Mother Nature's trying to kill you. Salt water causes machinery problems, sea pressure tries to squash you, and the fresh air is up there. Every time submariners take their submarine to sea, there is a real chance that they might not come back. I wrote Watertight for 3 reasons. Number 1, so that people who have never been there could experience the thrill of going to sea on a nuclear submarine. Number 2, so people could appreciate the arduous life of submariners and have a few laughs seeing what they do to survive and the lengths they go to in order to thrive in their unnatural environment. Number 3, to give submariners their due. Most books and movies address the point of view of the ship's senior staff, the captain, his XO, a few officers. There's usually some intrigue, a global threat to mankind, and a political environment in the story. Even Tom Clancy, may Rickover bless Tom Clancy, even Clancy tends toward the captains and the admirals and the politicians as being the only interesting people. Enlisted men are considered as furniture. They're just there and only useful when the CO needs a cup of coffee or the story needs to sacrifice someone for the greater good. Enlisted men are usually played as malcontents and mouth breathers who in every tough situation look to the captain and say, "Golly, sir, what are we going to do now?" The truth about enlisted people on submarines is very different. If you sailed to the far side of the world and then aliens abducted all of the officers, the submarine would still come home with the crew healthy, well-fed, and looking sharp. The ship's machinery would be working, maintenance would be up to date, everything organized and properly documented in fine Navy fashion. However, if you sailed to the far side of the earth and the aliens abducted all the enlisted crew, the officers would have to phone home for help. Even if there were enough of them to operate the submarine, they couldn't do it. Please don't misconstrue my last. Watertight the book does not bash the officer corps. Well, maybe a little. You know, just a little. Just a tiny bit. You know, wafer thin.